Hi, everyone. It's great to be with you. I hope that you had a great weekend and you're having a great start to your week as we kick off week 5. This week, we go back to having a discussion. You're continuing to work on your paper, which is due next week. And then that's followed up by a presentation that is built off of your paper. So if you've got any questions about those, the directions for those assignments, please let me know. I think that you've got everything you need. I handed you the template for your research papers. Please feel free to use that. I'm excited to read them. Grading this week, I am leaving for vacation this weekend. So I'll have all your grading done probably by Friday. I'll have the discussions done before then. And then I'll probably take a little time on Friday just to finish up your written assignment feedback and get that back to you, which is really perfect. We'll have a little feedback on a written assignment prior to you handing in your 10-page, 9 to 10-page paper. Other than that, let's have a great discussion this week. Get in there, ask questions, dig in, and respond. I will ask questions as well. Even though I'm on vacation, I am still available to you. But just won't be in Ohio. I will be at the beach. So this week, as we talk about structures in higher education, I continue this lecturette series, if you will. I wanted to talk a little bit about for-profit entities in higher education and how they differ potentially between state and nonprofit and how their leadership structures or accountability structures are different. If you think about one way to imagine the difference between nonprofit and for-profit organizations is that if you're a for-profit organization, your role is shareholder value, increasing shareholder holdings and returns. So if we think about higher ed, now I'm not on either side of the fence on this because we have to find different ways to provide education to those who need it and desire it. And there are private entities out there for profit that are doing a good job. But within that structure, you might need to create a different leadership structure than you would necessarily in a nonprofit. Because shareholder wealth, if that is the overarching driving force, how do we protect academic quality? And so what I mean by that is within nonprofits, mission is first, revenue is second, though you still have to run as a business. There are no retained earnings. There is nothing that's divvied out between the profits between shareholders. Everything is invested back into the organization or it's put into a savings such as an endowment. But all of that eventually gets spent back on the university itself because there's no one who owns shares. There's not a board to pay. There aren't shareholders who are going to take value out. On the corporate side, it's different. On a C Corp, if you will, it's an entity all its own, and that organization is to drive shareholder wealth. So when you are on the stock exchange as a public corporation, your duty is to those shareholders who are owners in this case, university. And so just something to think about is how do you protect the academic quality? And part of that is through regulation because through the Higher Education Opportunity Act, most recent revisions in 2010-12 that were adopted removed the safe harbors, those being essentially you cannot pay people to recruit and then incentivize them to do so. That was happening within the for-profit sector. So essentially, the more people that I recruited at the university and that I enrolled in courses, I made a higher percentage of salary or wage because of that. So sometimes it happens in that way. But how would you structure that organization from a CEO standpoint, reporting out earnings to shareholders versus a chief academic officer or a president that is PhD qualified who has come up through higher ed. There isn't a perfect answer, and I don't have one in this, but I did want to prompt your thinking about that structure and how you would balance the conflict of interest that can occur between creating shareholder wealth and academic quality. And just because you're a nonprofit doesn't mean you have higher academic quality. So something to think about. Other structures within that remain mostly the same. You can have some different names, and as you look through some colleges and universities, and I recommend that you do so and go to their sites and look at their leadership pages. Most are going to have, if not all, a chief academic officer or a provost or a vice president of academic affairs. They will have deans that are heads of the colleges. They will have associate deans or assistant deans. And they will have a series of people on the administrative side that handle the same things you would in companies, being marketing, accounting, finance. So just something to think about. Again, I'm reaching out if you've got any questions for me. I haven't received very many emails. I know that you probably are taking 2 courses at the same time, and the assignments are not that complex in this course. But if you have any feedback for me or you need something from me, please reach out. Email, you can text me, or you can call me. If you call during the day, I am likely in a meeting, but I will find a time to get back with you. So it's great having you all in class. I really look forward to your papers this week and next. So I'll look forward to seeing you in the discussion posts. Take care.